People that text with punctuation scare the crap out of me, okay? Like, I know I might be a little bit overreacting, but also, like, why is the period in there? Did we need a period? Like, I'll be texting my mom. I'm like, hey, is it cool if I go somewhere? And she was like, okay, period. Is it okay? Are you mad at me? I don't know. Like, why do we have to throw the period in there? You know, and then I'll ask her and she'll be like, oh, it's just good grammar. Damn, good grammar is reserved for like emails, okay? Like, we're texting here. I throw a thumbs up or like a party emoji. Now, I use a lot of emojis because I'm scared that my tone's gonna come across wrong. So like when I'm texting somebody, I'll hit them with like a, hey, are you coming? And like a happy emoji or like the party face one. Cause like I want it to seem like, yeah, are you coming?
Okay, so there's an opinion that good friendship always begin with memorable first meeting. Like, for example, in my case, what happened was a girl approached me. Even though I was an introvert, still I am, so I'm not very talkative. So after 5 years, we were like, bro, you were rude. And she was like, you were rude. So yeah.
I miss the days when being friends with someone was so easy. Because like when I was in elementary school, I skipped kindergarten and went right into first grade. So I was super, super nervous, right? But there was a kid next to mine, like my locker next to me. His name was Jack, and he looked super cool. And I was like, I want to be friends with that guy. And so my mom kind of like pushed me forward as like moms do, you know? And she was like, go say hi to him. So I was like, oh, okay. And so I was like, hey, my name's Rustin. And he was like, hey, my name's Jack. And I was like, cool. You want to be best friends? Like I asked him, like, do you want to be best friends? And he was like, yeah, sure. And that's it. We were best friends for like the next couple years. We did football together. We did sleepovers, like literally everything we did together. He was my best friend and that's it. Like all I had to do was go up and say hi and do you want to be my best friend? But now I'm in college and it's so much harder.
You guys ever have that feeling when you wake up for school? Like you wake up after you like set an alarm and then the alarm doesn't go off, but you wake up like an hour before your alarm's supposed to go off. You wake up at 6:06, close your eyes, feels like 40 seconds. You wake up, it's 7, like 10. That just like doesn't make any sense to me personally. Cause where'd the extra like hour or 40 minutes of sleep go? Cause I need that and like I don't remember.
Okay, so it's always interesting when siblings have opposite personalities. For example, in my case, I am the oldest and my brother is the youngest, and we are totally opposite. Like, my brother is the type who believes no doesn't exist in his vocabulary, and if he wants something, he'll get it. On the other hand, I believe that if I want something and don't get it, the world is not ending. But for my brother, it's like, oh my goodness, things are about to get real. Okay, so behind every crazy duo, there are two mentally unstable best friends who convince each other that their behavior is normal. Like, they are the yin to each other's yang, or maybe just the yang to each other's yang. Like, they make other people to question their own freaking sanity, you know, just by being themselves. They're like peanut butter and jelly, except if peanut butter and jelly occasionally started fires for fun. Yes, it's like this. Okay, so when people tell me their secrets, they often say, don't tell anyone, and I always assure them, like, their secret is safe with me. Like, but in reality, I know I won't remember it. Like, dude, I don't even remember what I ate yesterday. How can I tell your secret to anyone? I don't remember my name sometimes. So yes, it's like this. Does it also happen to you guys? Okay, so one day I was discussing my problems with my best friend, that's smiling and laughing at me, and literally I was staring at her and she was like, why are you staring at me? And I was like, actually I realized something, that, you know, it's my fault. It's my fault. I'm telling my problems to my another problem. It's like, you know, you're my 100th problem. And she was like, oh my god, you're very offensive. But you're right. And I was like, yes, I know. Okay, so here's the situation. So it seems like you didn't study because you were stressed, but you were stressed because you didn't study. So it's like the classic chicken and egg situation of procrastination. I guess it's a case of academic catch-22, sharing you as the lead actor. So it happened with me so many times that I can't even count now. Okay, so during exam, I find it so hard to concentrate on studying. I often think, let me listen to some music or podcast, because in silence I tend to doze off. But when it comes to the exam itself, I realize I have all the beats but none of the answers. It's like my brain is dropping the mic instead of dropping knowledge. I'm like, questions, I'm not enchanted to meet you. Shoo, get lost. Okay, so we all got that kind of friend who just can't spell. Like, they'll send you a text and you will be like, oh my god, what is it? I can't even read it. Like, it's like they are using a new alphabet called typos that we don't know about yet. Like their autocorrect must be on strike. Like it's a spelling rebellion, bro. Yeah. Okay, so do you guys know that feeling when you meet someone really popular? The kind that everyone likes, and they're like, she's so nice. But you get a strange vibe from them. Like in my case, I met a girl that, widely regarded as very nice, very sweet. But when I met her, I was like, oh my god, I'm getting a weird feeling from her. So yeah. Everyone has weird habits. Like, let me tell you guys mine. I can sleep with too much noise, like with a variety show on, the people laughing and clapping. Even if there is a war in the house, I'm still be sleeping, But if my mom just opened my door a bit, I will be like, what happened? Like with wide eyes open. So it's kind of weird. Okay, so it's a sibling rule that every time my brother is relaxing in his room, what I do is I go and turn off the lights, annoy him. Then I just leave his room, and at the end he's like, why? And I am like, oh, my phone wasn't charging, that's why. So does it also happen to you guys? Do you guys also have a friend like this, like who avoids the calls like they're allergic to them? Like I once asked my friend, like, dude, why did you ignore my call? What, you busy? And she said, I wasn't ignoring your call. Actually, I was watching it and I was dancing on the ringtone, I was like waiting the show to end, and I was like, oh really? I want to beat you. Did you guys know that they stayed together even though the friend group fell apart? Like for example, in my case, what happened was that my best friend and I were discussing the fact that the people who actually introduced us are no longer friends, but we are now best friends. Then at the same moment, we looked at each other and we said, we stayed, yeah, dude, we stayed, yes. Okay, so the best friend day is truly in sync when one friend is hitting the sack at 5 a.m. while the other is, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, rising at the same hour. Now, it's like that one friend bids the world good night and the other friend is saying good morning. It's like weird kind of connection between two friends.
You know what really pisses me off? The fact that we'll never be able to see what we actually look like to someone else. Like we can never come out of our bodies and see us from someone else's perspective. That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Okay, so we all have that friend who seems to be super sweet and innocent, like a cute little angel, but we low-key are terrified of them, because we know that's their other side to the sweet little cute bean, and that's their dark side. And there's a plot twist, that friend is me. Okay, so when my mom is sleeping, I try to not to make any noise. Like I make an effort to not to close the doors and the cupboards, just let my mom sleep. But whenever I am sleeping, there's a lot of activity going in my house. My mom have to do all the unfinished tasks when I am sleeping, like laundry, like the cooking, and the house will be at war. It will be like and I will be like, Mom, I want to ask a question. Am I adopted? Why?